Welcome back to the Point Shavers Week 3 recap. How you doing, Blake?
Doing great, Lloyd. How are you doing? Great background
Oh,
there, man.
thanks. Mighty city of San Antonio, by the way. It's important to note Harrison
Okay,
Ford running around here Monday night, shooting 1923. You know, the prequel to Yellowstone. He's not here anymore.
excellent.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get started on this recap. Last week, what did we get? What did we go last week?
Lloyd, we had another profitable week. The point shavers are now 3 for 3, turning a profit. We had 19 correct picks to our 13 incorrect picks. So if you're betting $100 per pick given to you by the point shavers, you just profited $600. We'll put our Cash App in the comments below. That way you can give us our percentage, our VIG on it. Lloyd, which game stood out to you last week?
Well, hang on, just right for that, just so people know, we're looking at we do the over, under, and the spread. That's where we're at. That's where the numbers come from. Correct.
Correct. Yes, sir.
That's right. So, well, I'll tell you what stood out to me. Really, I mean, I know there's a few games here, but where did Carolina come from? Well, I
They
know
came from the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, man. They
yeah,
can throw the football again.
future Hall of Famer Andy Dalton came out of retirement to sling it around, didn't he? I'm going
Man,
to be
he
honest.
made that offense rejuvenated. Deontay Johnson looked great. Thielen made a couple really nice catches. He injured himself on one. That defense looked like they had life. I mean, they don't feel like they have to shut people out to get a win now. It was pretty impressive, and that's a game that we actually took a loss on the spread and the total. We both figured it would be a low scoring game. Andy Dalton came out firing though, so we'll have to take notice to the Panthers moving forward.
Yeah, he did for sure. What did we have? We had two wins because remember, just as a reminder, we do the spread and the over under, but we had 7 wins and four. Uh,
Double losses.
yeah, um, but our percentage is good. I mean,
And right
59.
at 60%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, which is big. So if you had bet the money, what would we have won last week? Or did you
You'd
already
have
say that?
profited 600.
Yeah, did you
Yep,
say that already? Yeah,
I
that's
did.
awesome. So
But hey, let's keep saying it. $600 is not a little bit of money for the common folks, which
that's
is who we're
right.
doing this for.
We're just doing this for the common man. Let's just blow through it really fast. I mean, this recap. We don't have. It's not a fantasy show. Let's just say what it is. We had New England, New Jersey, right? And we took New England +6, and we took the under at 38.5, and we lost that. So the Jets covered. New England didn't, and that's what it was. We lost that one. How'd you feel about the next one, Blake?
Man,
Giants.
Cleveland and the Giants. We took Cleveland minus the 6.5, and man, the Giants actually looked decent. So we did lose that one. We did take under 38 and a half, and we did win that one. But the Giants really surprised me going on the road and putting it to Cleveland there. That was kind of an anomaly for me. But what do you think of the Green Bay, Tennessee? We got a double win right here.
Well, so Green Bay, Tennessee, I felt like Green Bay had this in the bag. Their defense has been pretty unbelievable, and they haven't really just been lighting up the scoreboard either. So I took Green Bay for sure with +1.5, and we did the over at 37.5 because they did score some touchdowns, and we got a win-win on that, which takes us to Chicago, Indiana last week.
Man, I've been on the Colts bandwagon all season here, and we both did take the Colts. I actually locked Indianapolis minus the one here, so we did get that win. Um, but and then we had under 43 and a half. I think both offenses we kind of saw the writing on the wall that this was going to be quite a bit under the total. So this was our second consecutive win-win on this one, bringing us to Houston and Minnesota.
Well, honestly, Houston, as I've said every week, they're one of the hottest teams. I felt like in the last year, from last year, and then they started off looking hot, the first week, and I'm like, okay, well, Houston's Houston. So we took Houston -2 and the under at 46.5. Houston lost. Lost to that. Minnesota's 3-0, right? They're the hottest team apparently of this year at this
No
point,
joke.
minus the Bills. Out of nowhere, though. Minnesota's out of nowhere. Bills are usually pretty solid, but so we took a loss there, but we did win the under, and so then it's Philadelphia, New Orleans.
Yeah, and just real quick, going back to Houston and Minnesota, I'm a Viking believer, man. I'm a Darnold fan. I might be getting a jersey this week for Sam Darnold. But moving on to Philadelphia at New Orleans. Apparently, New Orleans forgot how to score points here. We both really were pretty high on a pretty high total here. We both took over 49.5. Clearly, we lost. I think that game going to the fourth quarter had 3 points scored in it. And then we both took New Orleans after their dismantling of Dallas, -2.5, and Philly hadn't looked that great. This was just a defensive struggle that Philly happened to come out on top of late. So we did take our first loss against the spread and the total on that one. Pittsburgh and the Chargers, man. What do you think of that
Right,
game?
right after somebody I'm hot on, Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't think they're world beaters, but I think they're pretty good, and I think Justin Fields gave them a spark that they didn't have uh,
Mhm.
from Kenny Pickett last year. And so this particular one, though, we were win-win. Pittsburgh -1.5, and of course they won. And then I took the under at 35.5 for just not high-powered offense, but their defense is good, and they're good enough to get it done. So we have a win-win on that particular one, which brings us to Denver, Tampa Bay, and this one was a shocker to me. So
Man, I took Tampa Bay in my Survivor League as well, just to win outright. Who knew that Denver and Bo Nix was going to come out and Bo Nix ran all over him, man. So we did have Tampa Bay minus the 6.5, and we took under 39.5. We did hit the total there, hitting the under, but Tampa Bay did not cover. They did not look good either. Carolina, Las Vegas. We've kind of talked about this one already a little bit. Do you want to add anything to the Carolina Vegas game, or do you want to move on to Miami, Seattle?
I mean, it was a loss for us. I cannot believe. Well, it was Andy Dalton. I mean, it's all Andy Dalton. There's nothing else to talk about. If Bryce Young was there, we know what would have happened. Yeah, we can move on. So,
Okay.
uh,
What do you think of
so
the Miami Seattle game?
well, Miami, Seattle. This is another one of those. The line was Seattle -4, which we took, and we took the under at 41.5 because if Tua is out and they got a backup, and by the way, their backup got hurt, so the third string guy is in, and the third string, he's not even going to be their quarterback probably this week. They signed another a veteran, so we knew that was kind of going to be a snoozer, and we were correct. We were win-win on that with Seattle -4 and under 41.5.
Yep,
So
and
Dallas
you actually
Baltimore.
locked that total.
Oh, I did. I did lock that one. Yeah, I felt
Mhm.
that one coming pretty strongly. And then you have Baltimore, Dallas. You're a Dallas guy. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, man, that one. The first half went exactly how I thought the entire game would go. I thought Baltimore would come out and just shred our offense. What I didn't anticipate though is Baltimore kind of going in reclusive mode in the second half and just pounding the football and letting Dallas climb back into it. We did take the over 48.5. We got the win-win on that one. Thank goodness Dallas was able to come back and score some points in the second half. But yeah, Dallas showed me a little bit of life though, so I'm actually excited for this Thursday night game coming up in Week 4. San Francisco versus Los Angeles Rams. This is another one of our lost losses here. What do you think about that game?
Well, we did take San Francisco -7, and so I don't know. They just kind of fell apart. They did pick
Mhm.
up Jennings. Jennings, the receiver, went wild. I mean, if he does that the rest of the year, we got a new Jerry Rice on our hands. But it just didn't seem to pan out. San Francisco -7 and under 44.5. Well, it went well over that, and man, San Francisco pulled it out. Well, didn't pull it out. Lost. That was a tough one for us. I felt like.
Yeah,
Um,
I will be honest with that, Lloyd. You were pretty heavy on the Rams, and through our discussions throughout last week, I was able to kind of convert you over to the 49ers side. So I'm going to wear that one right to the face. I was wrong, dead wrong.
yeah, that's right. I haven't forgot it. All right, so then we have Detroit, Arizona. So on this particular one, Detroit, Arizona, it was Detroit -3 and under 51.5. And on that particular game, that was another win-win that we took. I just didn't see any way that Arizona was going to beat Detroit. I'm a Detroit fan, not like a childhood fan or anything. I just when they hired that new coach and then you started watching what I can never remember.
Hard knock.
Yeah, I started watching Hard Knocks. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I love this guy, and so Now we do a little more analysis than that, but just even on a personal level, like seeing that shit, I'm like, yeah, I'm a Detroit guy. Let's do it. And so yeah,
Yeah.
we were good on that one.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Kansas City, Atlanta, man. Um, this was one that we took Kansas City minus the 3.5, and we took under 46.5, and we got ourselves another win-win on this one. This was actually a lot closer game than a lot of people thought it was going to be. We had talked about maybe taking Atlanta here, but um, Kansas City just keeps winning games, man. So it's been really nice to be able to take the Chiefs all year. Another win-win for us here. Let's move on to Monday night. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus your Buffalo Bills.
well, this particular one here, we did a
Tell the
point.
people what happened, Lloyd.
We come to an agreement as a team because that's what we are here at Point Shavers. To get you the best picks. But I'm a Buffalo fan, of course. You know. But we took Jacksonville +6. Blake had a feeling. I'm not sure what it was, but he did, and we took a loss on that particular one. Jacksonville
Mm-hmm.
+6, but the over hit at 45.5, which was pretty nice. So we actually, as a team, we were lose-win on that one. And then turns out there was another Monday night game going, but I don't know if anybody watched it. But as it turns out, for anybody who is an actual fan of either Cincinnati or Washington, Jaden Daniels might be for real.
He does not suck at football.
No, he does. He does not.
Yeah,
Now,
we did
unfortunately,
take Cincinnati on that one, -7.5, and Cincinnati may not be that good this year. Jamar Chase had a really nice game with Joe Burrow, but it just wasn't enough to beat Jaden Daniels.
listen, I personally feel like they're previous to last week. Apparently, at some point, you got to start believing in Washington. Or Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think their defense is great, but Jaden Daniels is good. But I took the under, and we took a loss on that. The under was 47.5, and we lost because they covered, which was
Mm-hmm.
shocking for some not high-scoring offenses.
Yeah. So just to recap, for the week, we did get against the spread in total. We had 19 correct picks to our 13 incorrect picks on that. So stay with the Point Shavers. Anything else you want to add to the recap here, Lloyd?
No, that's it, man. Listen, we're here for the common man, but to be honest, as we say, we have above average winning ratios, and I'm still standing by that. We apparently we got something going, Blake. It's like
through 3 weeks.
Stole the sports almanac from Biff.
Yeah, man. Through 3 weeks, though, we are 91-71 between our picks. The first couple weeks, we both picked each game. We took those totals. This last week, we just did a Point Shavers pick for against the spread and total. But we're 20 games above 500 right now. So $100 player is up $2,000 for the first 3 weeks. Not a bad ROI there, Loey.
I don't think so. I feel pretty good about it. Well, anyway, thanks for listening to the Week 3 recap. We are going to try to put it out. We got to get this Week 4 predictions in. Week 4 picks.
A lot of good games in Week 4.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening, and have a good week.
Thank you, guys.